Alright, what's up guys? My name is Isaiah, also known as Oritama. Welcome to JOF Digimon. Today I'm bringing you a Alphamon Ouryuken deck profile from my my store locals. Placed top four. And yeah, let's get straight into it. So, the best baby ever, Doraemon. I mean, this is bread and butter. Every deck will play this. If it's not playing this, then don't worry about it. You need this. You need to cycle your hand. You need to draw cards. It's kind of just mandatory. For the threes, we play the best card in your deck for Doraemon. I mean, you want to see him 24/7. There's never going to be a game, a day, ever you don't want to see him. He's the best card in the deck. He searches. He gives you that memory. He's OP. Ryuda. I don't like this card, I'll be honest. He's kind of mid. He searches for the top three, which is the only reason why I play him. He has the decoy ability. Again, I'll be honest, I've played this deck since this X antibody first dropped. Still hasn't been a single time I've used decoy, but you know, when it does come up, I'll let y'all know. We play the 2 Sun Orizamon. This card is actually really techy. The security type +1 buff is really nice, especially when you swing with Alphamon Ouryuken. Most of the time you're swinging with 2 or 3 checks, but with this it bumps it up that extra time, which is so good, so good. We're playing the 1 Doraemon. He facilitates your hand. He makes sure as you cycle, you gets rid of all the nasty cards you don't want to see, like the Ouryuken or the Ouryumon. Sorry, he goes ahead and put that in trash and draws 2 cards. Just a good generic card. I was thinking about playing 2, but honestly, 1's kind of fine. He's not the end of the world if you don't see him. For the 4s, we play the standard 4 of the 4 Daruga and 4 Dex Daruga. The Daruga is your traditional blocker. He gives you that +1000 for your Alphamon. You'll most likely never need it unless you're doing a mirror match where he becomes very important. But he's good. He helps you get into Dex Darugamon, which is a 0 on top of him, gets that blocker retaliation. Just a side note, that blocker retaliation, you can give it to another Digimon. So if you have like a Ryudamon, you can give it blocker retal and swing over anything big your opponent has that's suspended. Could come in clutch, very nice to have. Play the 1 Grumblemon. Kind of wish I bumped this up to 2 because I never see it, but when you do, it is nice because all the Tamers you have, there's more than enough times you can go into him. So for the 5s is pretty standard too. Play Doru Gray. He gives you that protection. He gives you that security tag +1. He's perfect. And then for 3 Dex Doru Gray, this card's great. Gets rid of your Gazis, gets rid of any Madoki betas, any problem your opponent has. You go to him. 3 and 4s, you go to him. He's the best.
So why don't you play 4 of it?
Now that's the thing. Why don't I play 4? It's mainly because he's too much at 4. When you see just him and only him and not him, he kind of becomes terrible. He's still a 3 on top of because of the when Digivolving effect, but if you're doing this in raising because you have to, it's not the best. But 3 I think is fine. I might test 4, but I think for now 3 is okay. For the 6s, or for our big guys, I guess, we play 3 Alphamon, 3 Ouryumon, and 3 Alphamon Ouryuken. Sorry. So, I used to play 4 Alphamon. I played 2 of the BT9 and 2 of the BT6. The BT9 Alphamon comes in a lot more handy than the BT6 because of that D-Digivolve effect. There's been multiple times where I got rid of an opponent's Magna X for Armor Rush. It's pretty good for that. He's good for mirror matches when you get rid of your opponent's Alphamon. If they don't have it in hand, well, that's unfortunate because I'm going to go off and you're not. You play the 3 Ouryumon. I think 3 Ouryumon's fine. It's a very good card to have. Unsuspends your Alphamon. That's the whole reason why he's there. You're almost never going to evolve on top of him. When you do, though, he goes in and pops a play cost of 7 and gives you that protection. So against certain decks like BL Star, this could come in handy. Never won up against it in tournament, but not too bad. And then the best card in the deck, Alphamon Ouryuken. I mean, he's the whole reason why you're playing it. Some people play 2. I think 2 is too little. 3 is fine. There's a lot of cases where you draw multiple, but you know, it's rather you see it or you don't, and it happens. Very good card. Okay, on to our Tamers. We play 4 Cool Boy, we play 2 Coda, and then 3 Yuji. 4 Cool Boy, this is mandatory. You need 4 Cool Boy. I mean, it's a 2-drop that searches anything in your deck other than Grumble Mine. And Sunriser, to be fair, but this card's phenomenal. I mean, super phenomenal. It comes in clutch a lot of times. Yuji at 3 is perfect. I think 1 more Yuji is too much and 2 Yuji is too little. 3 is a good ratio. In times where you don't have Coda and you have Yuji, you can go ahead and tap Yuji to put an Ouryuken underneath. So if you have an Alphamon out, and it already has the Ouryuken underneath it because you gave it to him, for example, by a Dorugray or the Alphamon effect, you can swing a security, tap a Yuji to put another one in hand. And there's multiple instances where I just did it again. And that's how I actually won a lot of games, because I kept repeating the cycle over and over and over. So a very good card to have. Yuji is just phenomenal. I would not change anything. Coda though, Coda is kind of disappointing. Coda is not the best. He's too expensive. He does search for the top 4 and gives you the memory, but in the long run, you're already gaining a lot of memory for your Cool Boys, your Dexes. So, you know, he's not bad, but not the worst. I wouldn't mind. He's okay. On to our options, finally. We play 3 Black Memory Boosts, 2 Breath of the Gods, and 2 X Antibody. Now, I'll be honest. I would cut one of these to play a 4th Black Memory Boost. However, in tournament, seeing these X Antibodies is very, very, very nice. It helps facilitate your Dorumon if you don't have a Yuji and you don't have another way to put a source underneath. So if you need the memory in the draw, X Antibody will do that for you. Black Memory Boost, he's just your searcher. I do like this card though over the X Antibody because I'd rather see my pieces as fast as I can than using X Antibody, where if you see X Antibody in the early game, he's kind of just there and he doesn't do that much. Security effect's good, but in the end, I would definitely play a 4th Black Memory Boost in my build and 1 X Antibody. I think it's more than fine. Breath of the Gods, this is the only out you have to Vmon Armor Rush and to Imperial. There are a couple people in our locals that still play Imperial, so seeing this card against it is very nice. Also helps against Cocytus. Card's really good, especially if you also gave your Alphamon Ouryuken the blocker ability with Dex Daruga. After he's done swinging you Breath of the Gods, your opponent has to get over a 16,000 blocker with retaliation if somehow they can get over it. So Breath of the Gods, definitely a good card indeed. 2 is fine. Wouldn't play more, but wouldn't play less either. But yeah, that's it for the Alphamon Ouryuken deck profile, guys. I really appreciate you come watching and stopping by. Make sure you subscribe, like the video. And if you have any comments, please go ahead and feel free. But thank you for stopping by, and bye.